Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition, Hardcore Challenge Live. I am Ben Klein, the commish of the Hardcore Challenge, and tonight is our Week 3 recap edition. Go over all of the action that happened in the Hardcore Challenge in Week 3. All of the action and all of the non-action for some teams. My team is mostly non-action right now, which sucks. But before we get into the show tonight, at the beginning of my show, I have an intro song that I play. It's a mix over, obviously AC/DC, which is a Raiders entrance song. And at the beginning of that mix, you hear a gentleman screaming, "Let's go! Let's go!" Well, that man was Marcel Reese. Marcel Reese was a freaking Raider to the core through some of the toughest times of the Silver and Black. He carried us at points. He was a team leader for all 9 seasons he was there. He was a Pro Bowler for the last 4. He was a true freaking warrior. And yesterday, he was released by the Oakland Raiders. It was a tough decision, but it's a tough business, and I understand the move, but I hate to see him go. Mark Davis offered him a position in the organization. After his playing time is over, whoever he may go to, he always has a home and can come back, and I thought that was pretty cool that he offered him a coaching position whenever he finally retired. Once a Raider, always a Raider, and good luck wherever you go, number 45. You were freaking awesome, and bad to the bone, man. Dude was hard as hell, and sucks to see him go. I was shocked yesterday when he was released. But call-in number, as usual, 813-401-4942. Only going to leave that open for about 5 minutes today since I'm using that line for a interview towards the end of the show. So if you've got something you want to get off your chest at the beginning of the show, give me a buzz. Otherwise, don't, because I won't let you. So Week 3, another great week of football. Big scores, fourth quarter heroics, fourth quarter goats. That is what we all love about this game. You never know what you're going to get week to week, but you know it will be exciting. So first, let's start off with our league goats for Week 3. Only 2 teams remain without a win in the Hardcore Challenge, and both got there in very different ways. The 5-3 Bandits have actually put up pretty decent numbers, but are just losing their matchups weekly. They're just hitting a team that's just a little hotter week to week. Now myself, the Big Mac Attack, however, on the other hand, is just not putting up numbers, and my team is drowning early. So I'm ranked 20th. I've scored the least amount of points in the league thus far. I didn't even break triple digits this week, and that's just pathetic. The only thing saving grace to that is I wasn't even the worst team this week. So that's my only thing I can say to that. Somebody actually did worse than me, which is shocking. However, I did push through the first trade of this year today. We went back and forth, counter, and ended up with the first trade going down. I traded Carson Wentz, Adam Thielen, and Torrey Smith to Bison Broncos for Delanie Walker, Tony Romo, and Jay Ajayi. I wasn't going to play Carson Wentz anyway, so I wanted to deal him. Romo, they're saying, is going to be back by Week 7. I need him for Week 9. He's a one-week quarterback. That's all who is sitting on the bench. I'm riding Palmer till the end this year. You look at their total stats, they've got 1 point difference. I mean, so Wentz had a good game last week. I might have won if I'd have started him, but I wasn't going to start him anyway. Nobody was going to start him going to Pittsburgh. Nobody was going to start that guy anyway going to Pittsburgh when you got Carson Palmer going to the Bills. No way. No way. Nobody thought Carson Palmer would throw 4 touchdowns, and nobody thought Carson Wentz was going to look like a beast, so I don't feel bad about that call. I don't think anybody else would have made it either. But 2 other games in the league were squeakers, coming down to the wire with 2-point victories as Donkey Punched edged division rival Roid Ragers, and Dez Caught It handed Tamaters their first loss of the season. Very close games that could have went either way, but a W is a W, and a 2-point win is still a win. And when it comes to the end, nobody looks at the details. They just look at the W's. That's all that really matters. The majority of the league is sitting around 500, either at 1-2 or 2-1. So this week should be huge for shaking out division races and seeing who the true front runners are. We should start to see some separation. However, again, there were a lot of injuries. The landscape of starters will be changing for several owners. Some hot teams that are hot right now have really gotten bit with the injury bug last week. So it's, just because they're up now doesn't mean in a few weeks they're down. Doesn't mean in a few weeks the guys that are down aren't in a few weeks up, because, they're battled injuries right out of the bat too. So fantasy football is it's a roller coaster. So it's hard to tell. But there are those teams that, get hot and jump out fast and sprint all the way. So you never know. Never know. That takes us to our big scores of the week. For week 2, we had 2 huge 200-plus games. First off is Stinky Pinky, who seems to have bounced back well from their draft day debacle. They absolutely destroyed King Salami in a divisional matchup, one of the biggest margins of victory in league history, 211-86. That's a freaking beatdown. 211-86. Ouch. That had to hurt. That had to hurt sitting back and watching that happen. The second team going over 200 leads us into our game of the week for week 3, which was I'm Thinking RBs against Vandalay Industries. RBs handed Vandalay a sound 100-plus point beatdown in the game of the week, winning 228-123, posting the highest score of the week in week 3. And my prediction rang true as my record moves to 2-1 in game of the week predictions. Hey, when your fantasy team is 0-3 and ranked 20th, you take the small victories. And I'm 2-1 in my game of the week predictions. So, hey, I'll take a win where I can get it. Pretty much anymore. The last thing we need to address is obviously the 2 remaining undefeated teams. They See Me Rollin' is sitting at 3-0, leading the Dirty South, and Pale Horseman is sitting at 3-0 in the Elite East. Pale Horseman is number 1 in the power rankings, as They See Me Rollin' is right behind them at number 2. These 2 owners joined the league together in 2012 as co-owners of the Gents. They made the playoffs, had an unbelievable run, almost set records that year, had an unbelievable run. They made the playoffs together, but they exited without a win. Neither has made the playoffs since. Will that change this year, as they are both on fire out of the gate? Time will tell. But tonight, we have one of those owners with us on the line. Joining me on the line is Mr. Will Wadlin, owner of Pale Horseman, who is currently number 1 on the power rankings and sitting at 3-0 in the Elite East. Will, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm glad you could join us. Alrighty. Will, I want to start out with asking how it feels to be off to such a great start this season. It's the best start you've ever had since you've been in the Hardcore Challenge as a sole owner. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's it kind of came as a surprise. We've been playing for a few years, and you just want to win. You don't want to be sitting there on Monday night at 11 o'clock waiting for the last play to see if you won. And to come out strong, it just feels good.
Yeah, you've obviously came out strong. I mean, you're sitting in number 1, close to the top in points scored as well. If you had to pick one player currently on your roster that you think is your key to making the playoffs this season, who do you think that would be?
It's either going to be Bennett once Brady comes back, or Benjamin, wide receiver. That's what I Armstrong, but I think Bennett might be the one.
That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, because Gronk's hurt, so.
You never know. I mean, he's there, he's not there. He's not consistent. I mean, when he's there, forget it. But when he's not there, I think Bennett's going to step up, and I think Brady's going to use him. But
well, we will see. Isn't Mr. Brady back this week? Is he back this week?
next week.
Next week.
Not this
Next
week.
week.
Yeah, week
Next
5.
week.
But I think my most difficult thing coming up is going to be just trying to get through the next couple. But then I think in week 7, when I go up against Joe, and we're all his new team.
Yes, they see me rolling.
Yeah, I didn't even know he changed the name of the team.
Yeah.
I've been so focused, I didn't even realize. I was kept looking like, where's Jesse? Where's Jesse?
Yeah, well, they don't see him rolling anymore because Rollin ain't rolling nothing right now. So what do you see as your biggest weakness on your team that you think you got to address to get yourself to the playoffs? Because everybody's got a weakness on their team that they're trying to fix, waiver wires, trading. What do you think is your biggest weakness on your team?
Right now, it's been Ingram, I think. I thought he was going to be, get this, early draft pick, and, you get to pick a nice running back or a wide receiver. I pick Ingram, and he's hot and cold, and he's not really putting up a lot of points. I think that's the biggest weakness.
Yeah, running back's tough. Running back's killing me right now. Killing me. So, the only season you've made the playoffs was 2012. That was as a co-owner with Joe. So, are we really supposed to believe that you're the contender this year with your big fast start?
There's a lot of good teams, though. It's usually the same, 6 or 7 teams that are way up at the top that you can't even touch. And I'm sure those guys, if they're listening, they know, who they are, and these guys take it seriously. And you just never know from week to week. I mean, you get one injury, or you don't put in the right defensive player, and I think the defense on those defensive guys, they can become a key to the game. I mean, you can count on your wide receivers and your quarterback, and they're going to do pretty good, but it's those defensive players that are like, what's he going to do this week? Is he going to put up 2? Is he going to put up 25? So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tough.
Absolutely. All right. Last thing. This week, you face your division rival, defending league champ, Bison Broncos, who's only sitting 1 game behind you at 2-1. Is there anything you would like to say to your upcoming opponent prior to your matchup in a day?
Just good luck. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't come down to a nail biter on late on Sunday night or going into a Monday game. So
yeah,
it's fun. It's every week's different. Every week's exciting. I'm glad it's back again.
Oh yeah, me too. Absolutely. All right, well, Will, thanks for joining us. Good luck this week in your big matchup, and maybe we'll be talking to you next week if you win again, and you're the only possibly undefeated team remaining. We will see. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up what we wanted to do for our show this evening. Everything I wanted to touch on. I want to thank Will for joining us. Hope everybody could hear the audio well. It was only our second interview. I thought the audio was pretty good the first time, so I tried the same thing this time, and I hope it worked out well. It has to do a lot with the connection on the other end too, so I hope everybody could hear it. So I thought Will had some good insight on his team. He's killing it this year out of the gate, so it's nice to see some new blood up at the top. He hadn't made the playoffs since 2012. Here it is, 2016, and he's the top dog right now, 3 weeks out. It's got to feel good because it sucks to be on the opposite end of the spectrum because that's where I'm sitting, at 20th. And don't remind me, I'm the Cleveland Browns of the Hardcore Challenge right now, and that's not good. All right, be sure to tune in tomorrow night when we unveil and break down our game of the week. Remember, all trades need 48 hours approval time from the minute they post, no exceptions. First one came through today, and I made sure it was in before noon on Tuesday, so that baby will clear by game time Thursday. So that's what you should be doing too. Always plan ahead. Other than that, week 4 is here. Are you ready for the challenge? Good luck. Game on.